one of like the real iconic players in StarCraft 2. Has been since Wings of Liberty started, and feels like will also be until the end of times. Can I ask for the score? Yeah, Eddie Smurfy already answered that is 0-0 the score. And here in the Port Alexander, worst map of the series. In the blue, in the up left position of the map, we have Nerchio from Iron Chain. Soul was the first player from Iron Chain to advance last qualifier, and I think everyone is kinda expecting that Nerchio will do the same, and is one of the favorite for this qualifier for sure. And here we have in the down right position of the map, it is Blazers Dimaga. Oh, that failed a bit. Dimaga, as I told earlier, is one of the more iconic players of the scene. He is old as fuck. Well, not old as fuck, but he's been around since the beginning of time, and I think actually that Nerchio has been also from the beginning of time, but for some reason, like the name Dimaga, it just has the certain taste of legendary taste in it, along with Cass and Braddock as well. Players from the East, one might say. And this is actually the first CVT which we are gonna be watching. I was hoping that I'm gonna ask Nakrutus to guest myself with myself on these qualifiers. I probably will ask someone to guest with me on Sunday. And it's solely because I don't understand at all Jerk Mirror matchups. At least the early games, it seems kind of random, the decisions which players are making, like whether or not to transition away from Ling Baneling into Roaches or not. That's kind of what's unknown to me. But how the TVT nowadays usually goes, it's both of the players take the third hatchery quite early, and then they do a slight pressure onto the third hatchery, and then the best dwarf wins there on out. But usually it goes for macro game, and both of the players goes for this mid game full of roaches, and they slowly take up Ravages, of course, some of the Ravages, but it's maybe Hydralisk and Laukos, or maybe like Mutalisks. But usually, like even Mutalisk play, it transitions later on into Hydra Lurkers. So it feels like Hydralisk's Lurkers are kind of the late game tech which you make in TVC. Sometimes you see Brutlos and stuff like that, but not so many. It's all about Lurkers, it feels, and Vipers. But yeah. Nerchio making some links over here, and this is the slight light pressure that I was talking about. Dimaga droning a little bit more than Nerchio, but Dimaga's third at the same time is later, a little bit later, or maybe even a little bit more. And Nerchio is all about cancelling the third command center. He slaps it down, or tries to slap it down hardly. Two of the Palings come, and close dance of death, one might say, is this Paling Ling fighting which they are going on. Dimaga loses a couple of Lings, a moving then in front, and seems like his Palings don't connect, but those Palings offer a little bit safety and puts a pressure on the Nerchio's side, because Nerchio knows and sees that they are close, and even one mistake might lose all your Lings, and that of course is not what you want. And even more Lings coming on, but yes, already a couple of Palings and creep spread going on. These Palings are obviously slow Palings, so they don't catch Lings for sure. But yeah, Nerchio gonna make a Rose Warren a little bit later, starting the +1 range attack even before Rose Warren. Meanwhile, Dimaga a little bit later in +1 range attack, and a little bit later with the Rhodes Warren. But what Dimaga is faster than Nerchio is the layer tech, and Dimaga will most likely start the road speed earlier than... Oh shit, there happened something, but I totally missed it. Oh, 6 links only died for Nerchio at this point, so nicely done. Nerchio taking a little bit of lead in the drone gun, but Dimaga also 9 workers finished at the same time. Still Nerchio in a little bit of lead in this game, one might say. A slight lead for sure, as it's very delicate timing if Nerchio is about to hit it right before Dimaga hits the same upgrades 2 seconds after the Nerchios. But +1 range attack is about to be finished, and Nerchio running down with his links here and there by Bilbo Baggins. These won't accomplish that much, but they offer some pressure. Actually, might he be cancelling? He will be cancelling that 4th base. Well, that's a small win for sure, and he even kills the drone. And Dimaga must be like, darn, I should have defended that. Meanwhile, Nerchio's 4th base way faster now than will be for Dimaga. And overseer from Nerchio sees everything. Meanwhile, Nerchio used to be having little bit more of the army supply at the moment, and Nerchio is about to start the Spire and go for some Mutalisk play. We'll see how dedicated he will be with those Mutalisks. Actually, now the Roaches are coming to kill that 4th base, and Nerchio denies Dimaga's 4th base 2nd time in a row. And that is starting to be a real issue in this game for sure. And Dimaga trailing down in army supplies for sure, but Dimaga is actually waiting for something. It seems like as he doesn't have lava. And is it because his 4th base has been cancelled 2 times already? Not sure. But well, Nerchio has lot bigger army at the moment, and now he's gonna go. Some of the Ravagers come up with Dimaga, but other of them dies immediately, and I think the pile actually hit his own roads, so that's unfortunate for sure. But now Dimaga making only roads, not taking up to anything except now Mesa Hydralisk then is having a bigger army at the moment, but 9 Mutalisk starts to come up because of Nerchio's fast economy. Nerchio has 71 workers while Dimaga has 63, so Dimaga is definitely behind in this game, and he has been quite some time, and like losing the 4th base, actually even a 3rd time already. Dimaga still doesn't have a 4th base. I think Nerchio will soon have a 5th, and Nerchio started to hunt down those overlords as well. That will put Dimaga in a little bit of supply block very soon. Dimaga actually gonna go for Lurker then as well. So, here we go then. Nerchio army looking so scary. Nerchio having actually almost the equal number of roaches than Dimaga is having, but he has also those Mutalisks. But when the Hydralisks come up for Dimaga, and especially when the Lurker deck comes up for Dimaga, maybe that's something that Dimaga needs at this time. The Spore Crawler finishes, but Nerchio gets a couple of Ravagers killed before it. Hydralisks ain't here yet, now they are starting to arrive, but Nerchio is already fighting with his superior army, and Dimaga's supply is plummeting, although now the Hydralisks start to do damage from the background, and that boosts rather hugely his army, and Dimaga is holding this, but still Nerchio is in commanding position of this game for sure. +1 armor attack coming up for Nerchio, +2 range attack is done, and same goes for Dimaga as well. It's kind of surprising that neither of the players have researched tunnel gloves or anything, because when you watch, for example, Serral playing, he makes that every time, and his harassment is so freaking good. But these guys are all about straight up fighting Well, that's not straight up. When the Mutalisks come and kill alone third place. Ooh, some piles. Don't hit anything, but they are kinda like... Ooh. There we come. Let's put a little bit zoom here as we for this epic fight. Both of the player disengages, but then they start to fight all over again. There's small ranged units with Dimaga in this battle, but those piles, throw the piles and retreat is a good micro here, and is enough. But now Dimaga is kinda in awkward position as he's between. Oh, let's just put the zoom on again. Dimaga is kinda put his army between the third and fourth base of Nerchio, but Nerchio's army is huge. It's really huge. I wonder what the Mutalisks are doing at the same time. Where are the Mutalisks? They come back and they're gonna start to do some damage. There are still a couple of Hydras, and Hydralisks cannot... I mean, Mutalisks cannot fight Hydralisks for sure. Dimaga having more army supply than Nerchio at the moment, but Nerchio having the superior economy. This means that Dimaga has to really do some pressure now and not maybe later. Nerchio is actually killing the reinforcements of Dimaga, which Dimaga is sending to his army. That's an issue as well. Nerchio gets these nice little bit of trades, and here we see those happening again. Some poking around, but obviously Nerchio don't wanna fight with this army. But seems like Dimaga is in a position where he can now take the fourth base of Nerchio, go away. But you have to remember that Dimaga don't have a fourth base himself. He's just denying opponent that same privilege. Still, the army supply of Dimaga is huge, and Dimaga is on the run, killing Nerchio's army. There are still so many roaches left for Nerchio though, and still some Mutalisks as well. Seems like all the Hydralisks have gone, and these Mutalisks are wreaking havoc, and they are uncontested. But there are 3 queens coming up. 3 queens is more than enough to fight the Mutalisk at this time around, but Nerchio has taken the lead in army supply, and Dimaga's attack is looking to be a little bit not so sharp anymore. There goes the piles, and there goes the overload after that, but queens are so low, the piles will definitely hit them. You cannot outrun with anything with them, but seems like, oh, those piles, they hit the front line of roaches. Nice micro from Nerchio's side. He's still in control of the situation, even though it's not looking so great when it comes to army supply. Where are the queens? Queens are doing their own stuff against Mutalisks. Mutalisks try to come up top, but they cannot. Ooh, we are living on the edge. The game will be most likely decided on the upcoming battle, which neither of the players are able to do well against. At least not yet. Dimaga still is a bit behind army supply again. Queens doing they job well against the Mutalisks, and some piles, they go up and down, and now is the time to fight, I guess. Yes, now is the time to fight. We're gonna zoom out and see how Nerchio is really ahead in army supply now, and seems like he has broken down Nerchio's army, I mean Dimaga's army, and Dimaga, now there comes a couple of Hydralisks, but he cannot run away. Nerchio, having the superior economy throughout the game, finally wins and holds his bases. He lost the fourth base, but didn't lost any more of it. And nice try from Dimaga, but it wasn't quite not enough. As you can see from army value, this was the timing, like in 12 minutes and so on, where Dimaga had to finish the game. He wasn't unable to do it, and with the superior economics of Nerchio, he managed to close the deal. That was rather, I'd say, standard CVT, and that's how it goes. Blue Deer wrote something. You just transition when you hit a certain drone count. Oh. It's that simple, okay. In my mind, I thought that it has something to do with astronomy and how the moon is placed. When thinking that how the sun goes in certain like position, and then you kinda look at the wind and ask for the gods that is it my time to transition now? But that seems like little more like a little more simple solution that when you have certain drone count, you're gonna transition away. Makes sense. Yeah, Broodlaw suck because of Vipers. Yeah, Vipers are quite good. Should they be nerfed in order to save the CVC? I think you rarely see investors in CVC. Is there actually a situation where they might be good? I think there should be, at least, like throwing down a fungal against Hydralisks. Doesn't sound that of a bad deal, at least for me. But of course, if you wanna mash up with Lurkers, Hydras and Vipers, the controller will be so hard that usually it will most likely backfire than provide you the win. That might be the reason. Don't know, but investors, they should be good. But hey, we're gonna head up in this to see the map number 2 in this best of 3. And here, in the right up of the screen, we have Iron Chain's Nerchio. Nerchio is up there. One map against Dimaga. And Nerchio is on his way to qualify from this tournament, as is most likely gonna be the case. And here in the red, in the down left position of the map, it is places Dimaga. Trailing down one map, and Dimaga obviously needs to win now 2 maps in a row against Nerchio's caliber of player, and that's not easy for anyone in the world. But that's what Dimaga needs now to do if he wants to win the series. This time around, Dimaga does spawning pool first, but seems like Nerchio is opting for some kind of early pressure as well, as he take both the extractor and spawning pool as fast as possible. And now he goes to make the hatchery, so this might be just for safety purposes, as it can go for Dimaga as well. I think Dimaga will send a couple of links, meaning like 6 of links early on, and try to do something here. Or not. There he goes! 6 links. Feeling like a champion. Gonna go say this Finnish sentence and go for Torille. As that's what Finnish people do when they win championship in ice hockey or something. They gather around in the market square, and we gonna be drunk as fuck and jump into the pool. Yeah, sounds so interesting and logical. 2 links from Nerchio are on the middle of the map, meanwhile Dimaga 6 links are on the middle of the map and going against Nerchio. Nerchio will have quite an early speed, and that's like an issue. But Dimaga's time is now, and we're gonna see what he's gonna do with these 6 links. Seems like he's heading up to do some kind of drone damage early on. We're gonna see how Nerchio will micro against this. Queen will take some damage early on, but now it will find Shirley a nice place. It will die actually. Yes, it will die, but so will the links. Ooh, like final hit from the final last link. Kill the queen. But now Nerchio is all about making the counter pressure and maybe taking the win with the speedling counter attack he's gonna do. He hasn't made any drones yet. This might be a hard counter to what Dimaga is doing. Dimaga going to take the 3rd base, but now he sees the links and he knows that there's speed already. So we're gonna see how Dimaga will react into it. There will be so a big, huge window for Nerchio now to do some damage. The queen is far away. It's drifting and it's gonna die almost instant. And now some drones are dying there as well. And Nerchio is still not making drones more. This is all about this pressure now. Links are heading for the mineral lines. Losing that one queen early on, it hurts a lot. A nice micro from Nerchio. He wants to get the worker kills and he gets them. Only 12 drones for Dimaga, and Dimaga loses most of his economy for this, and Dimaga is making a painting nest, and seems like Dimaga thinks And maybe he's right that his only option is to go for counter-attack with the Painting Nest and mass unit from now on and hope it's enough. Meanwhile, Nerchio also throwing down a Painting Nest and is on the defensive posture now, and we think he will be till the rest of the game. It's all about now that either Dimaga's counter-attack do critical damage or Dimaga loses the game, and seems like these links, they don't do anything. Dimaga tries to hold most of his forces in the back, so Nerchio would like don't know what's going up, and maybe Nerchio even would make drones, but Nerchio is not about that. Nerchio also making the Pailings little bit behind Dimaga's Pailings, but they will surely be on time for sure. Where are actually Nerchio's Pailings morphing? I'm blind as fuck, don't see them, but now we're gonna go and fight and decide the game. Nerchio has a huge army supplies, but maybe those Pailings hits are enough. Still one Pailing going down, and it hits quite nicely, but is it enough though? Army supplies is double for Nerchio comparing to Dimaga. Dimaga has one of the economy that Nerchio has at this point, so it seems like Nerchio might be having this in the bag. And seems like still Dimaga decides it's time to go for the one vinyl push, but I think the one vinyl push already was there, and Nerchio killing these links earlier on, or at least forcing them to go back. Now Dimaga has a little bit more, but Nerchio doesn't take him for fool. He has superior economy and doesn't make drones like mass drones at this time. Nerchio knows that he just has to defend, and that's about it. Throwing down 2 evolution chambers, making the wall, making Trump very happy with this kind of commitment and this kind of a budget to build a wall. I don't know who has gave the money to build that wall, but I think the game will be over rather soon. Queen's doing some nice blocking over there. 2 of the Painlings come, and that's GG. And that was a clinic for Zerg versus Zerg mirror matchup from Nerchio's side. Wow. Wow. You can see that when you watch those tip-top level tier of plays or gamers make their play, it's just amazing to watch.